Welcome you all to the XLRI's live webinar on insights to the postgraduate certificate program in human resource management. And we will discuss as to how modern day HR managers can leverage this top ranked HR program for their professional growth. This live webinar session is aimed at providing vital information on key aspects of the batch 31 of PGC HRM, which started its journey during 2008. We will discuss about the program positioning, its objectives, and as to how this can act as a ladder to professional success. We would also be joined in by two of our distinguished alumni from our past batches, whom we will introduce subsequently. We are thankful that they have made time to attend this webinar today. The flow of today's session would be as under. So just to brief you that how we will follow the day's webinar session. Firstly, Professor Santosh Sangam will speak on the PGCHRM program, which will be followed by our alumni speaking on their learning journey with XLRI and how it has helped them in their career progression plans. After this, we will open up for a Q&A session and you may get your queries answered. We will collectively answer your queries related to the program or any other front that you feel deemed fit. We are extremely thankful to Professor Santosh Sangam for granting his valuable time for sharing insights on the program. May I now give a very short introduction to Dr. Sangam before he commences his engagement for this evening. Dr. Santosh Kumar Sangam is Chairperson, Virtual Interactive Learning at XLRI and has been associated with XLRI since 2009. He is faculty in finance area and is based out of XLRI Jamshedpur campus. Dr. Sangam is a chartered accountant, CFA, and has a PhD in economics from IIM Calcutta. He has provided training to many reputed Indian companies, to name a few: Accenture, Capgemini, L&T, Madura, NHPC, NTPC, and Viacom 18. His areas of interest include accounting, financial analysis, management control systems, bank management, financial markets, and corporate finance. He is co-author of the scholarly book Indian Business Group Strategy and Performance, jointly with Professor Ramkumar Kakani and Madhavi Sethi, which was published during 2015 by Cambridge University Press. I extend a warm welcome to Professor Sangam and request him to share some insights on the postgraduate certificate in business management program.
Thank you, Pulak. So, good evening, everyone. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this webinar and share a few things about the PGC HRM program. As I'm aware that most of you are still in the application phase or you're contemplating whether to apply or not, and you're hoping to get some of your queries addressed in this webinar. So without much ado, let me start off, right? So as you all are aware, especially being HR professionals, XLRI is the oldest B school in India, and we are the #1 ranked private business school since quite a long time. But more importantly, our roots, okay, if you look at the way XLR started off with, right, started off essentially as a management school devoted towards human resources and related areas, right? So the first programs that we started off were essentially related to human resources. Until date, we are known as the top HR business school in Asia, right, across different rankings. So that's about XLRI, right? What about this particular program, right? So if you look at XLRI, as I said, we have many firsts to our name. We started off, we're among the first business school, we first to start a HR-based program, and so on and so forth. But we also were the first to actively get into online virtual education programs in India. And so we essentially started off with the PGCBM and this flagship program of ours, the PGCHR. So these two programs, especially the PGCHRM program, has been around for almost around 18 years now. Okay. And over the years, this program has built a reputation for itself, because of the content, the rigor, right? And the fact that that the delivery across the courses is largely done by in-house XLRI faculty or full-time XLRI faculty, right? So even though the program is a much shorter program compared to a full-time MBA, and it's definitely not an MBA, we do expose our VIL program students to the same level of rigor that we put our full-time students through. Okay, and so in a sense, this program requires a lot of commitment at your end, right? But I'll come to that a few minutes later, right? Now, when it comes to this program, when we have been, this program has seen quite a few changes in the content here and in the content, right, as the HR function has evolved. So those of you who have probably been around long in the HR function would know that the HR function today and the HR function around 15 odd years ago was very different. And our curriculum, our course design, everything keeps evolving, with time to reflect the changes and the requirements of industry. So if you look at our program, right, uh, what we have essentially done is we have you guys have to undergo 300 hours of live sessions, right, that are spread across around 20 to 21 courses, right, and each course is a separate unit in itself. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly take you through the course content. So if you look at it, you have these courses here, right? There are 23 courses essentially that you have to do, right? I'll come to what are these 24 to 28. So if you look at the first term, right? So you can see that we have courses that are not just related to HR foundations. We also have courses that are related to, you know, other management disciplines. In fact, that's a common theme through the program. The reason is that in today's world, HR managers are no longer functional managers. They are required to play a critical role in supporting business divisions in their decision making. And for that, one of the key things which a HR manager needs to have an understanding of is the language of the other business functions, right? So keeping that in mind, we have a few courses around economics, okay, accountancy, operations management, strategy, digital transformation, marketing, and corporate finance as the non-HR area courses. Rest of the courses are essentially the HR courses. So if you look at the first term, you have the fundamental courses which are there. The second term is more of the intermediate courses, okay, from a HR manager point of view. And the third semester contains the relatively more advanced slash applied kind of courses, right? So that's the way we have gone about it. So foundational, intermediate concept building, and your application slash advanced, as you may call it. Now, some of you might be wondering what are these four courses out here. Now, we realize that as HR managers, you also need to work on your soft skills, right? And that's a important element for not just HR managers, but for any professional in today's world. So what we've done is we're tied up with HBS Publishing, that's Harvard Business School Publishing, and we are taking a set of four asynchronous courses, which essentially revolve around the soft skills part. And these you will have to, these are essentially pre-recorded sessions with their own individual assessment. So you will have to, every student has to also do these, right? Now, so that's essentially the makeup of your courses, right? So the first 23 courses are the live courses. Okay, right. The next four are essentially the mm, pre-recorded courses, right? And finally, we have a optional dissertation, which essentially allows the students to, apply what they have learned in the studied in the program across uh, a topic of their interest, or for dealing for a problem which their organization is facing, or which is relevant to their organization. So this project is typically done under the guidance of a faculty, right? And because the amount of work involved in this project is quite a lot, we only give it, make it available as an option to students who score more than 5.74 or CQPI, or weighted average grade, out of a total 8-point grade scale. So you have to score at least 5.74 average grade in the first term, right? Only then you will be eligible for this. Okay. So that's essentially the structure of the course of the program. But more than the structure, right? You will learn, we will be putting you through a lot of hard work, a lot of case studies, reading material, everything. But beyond that as well, right? What is the what are the things that you gain in this program, right? That would be the question. Every institute claims that we will put you through a lot of rigor, etc. Right? And in any case, XLRI VIL programs are known for their rigor. So because as far as we are concerned, students who come for our VIL programs, when they qualify, they become our alumni, they become our brand ambassadors. So when we are calling you as brand ambassadors, we'll subject you to the same level of rigor that we subject our full-time students to, right? So at least one thing is sure from our end, that if you come for the next 1 year, it will be a good learning journey. It will be very challenging, right? And you will learn with your peers, right? Okay. So that's one. The other thing is, we have a very strong alumni base in the VIL programs, especially in the PGCHM program. So if you look at the total VIL programs, we have across all the VIL programs, we have 7,500 plus alum. Okay. Most of whom are in reputed organizations in quite, respectable positions, right? And similarly, we have quite a few alumni who are from the PGCHM program who are in respected positions in their organizations. And we have some of them who are here today, right, for sharing their experience. So I thank both of the alumni who are here, right? So they can share some of their experiences through the learning journey with you. Okay. Now, so one thing is the academic side, right, where there will be a lot of rigor. Second thing is you clear it, you complete the program successfully, you become an alumnus of this place, right? And the program is well recognized in industry, right? These are the main things about the PGCHRM program. Okay, so I think
Yeah.
I would stop here, and anyone has any queries, probably I can take them at this time. Or Pulak, would you like to
Uh,
share their views? And
yes,
then,
yeah, I think what we can do, we can take the views from Pallav and Shumanto. If I think Pallav is already connected, Shumanto is trying to join in from Bangalore. I will just introduce Pallav before we get into the Q&A and the open session. Thank you, Professor Sangam, for your insights on the program content and format. So let me introduce Pallav Datta. First of all, thank you, Pallav, for joining in today. You had a very hectic and busy schedule, but yet, basis our request, you have made it to the session today. We thank you for that. So Pallav Datta hails from Kolkata. Pallav Datta is an alumni of PGC HRM batch 23. He has over 23 years of experience and is currently head HR, Industrial and Power Division at JMC Projects India Limited. He has worked across diverse range of sectors like BFSI, telecom and engineering, procurement and construction, with varying ownership models and at different stages of business life cycle. In the past, he was associated with Tata Teleservices Limited, Bharti Airtel Limited, Birla Sun Life Asset Management Company, and Modi Korea Telecommunications Limited. Uh, a great recognition for Pallav was that he was awarded as 101 most fabulous HR leader in India by World HRD Congress and HR Professional of the Year presented by India Human Capital Summit and Awards. So I welcome Pallav to this forum. And Pallav, if you could share your insights on the program, your experiences with XLRI, and how this program has helped you leverage, your experience and exposure to garner, higher professional growth.
Yeah, sure. So I'm sure I'm audible, right? Yeah. Am I audible, Pulak?
Yes. You are very much audible. Go ahead, Pallav.
Yeah, thank you, Pulak. Thank you, Professor Sangam, for inviting me to this webinar today. Right, and as Professor mentioned that this course has taken the same rigor as the full-time courses had. And we all are, most of us already in HR. And I have been in HR for so many years. And after that, I joined this course in the year 2017. And I mastered in the year 2018. And trust me, I have learned a lot of things which are impractical, is required to run the HR, because today's HR is different the way HR used to function, right? We are now in the transformational HR, right? And we need a lot of things which are actually we need to understand. We need to know a lot of theories, right? So this is the right institute or the platform where you get to learn a lot of theories with the same rigor. And trust me, it will definitely help you all to build your career further. Right, so this has actually helped my career as well. Today I'm heading nationally for the business unit, and this was only possible because of this particular course. I was in Tower Services for the last 13 years. Then after that, I joined this course, right? And I successfully completed this course, and then I shifted to different role altogether. Now I'm handling a national role. So I'm sure all of you will learn a lot of things, a lot of practical knowledge theories, which is required to run the show, as I mentioned. And I wish all of you the very best in your career. Right. That's all from my side. If you have any kind of questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, thank you, Pallav. Pallav, we request you to stay on with us because sure. I think we would open up for a Q&A, and there could be some questions directed to the alumni as well, just to share your experience and exposure. I hope Shubhanto is already in. Shubhanto?
Yeah, Pulak, I'm there.
Great, Shubhanto. Great to have already logged in. So let me quickly introduce Shubhanto. Shumanto Chaudhary is from Bangalore. Shumanto Chaudhary is an alumni of PGC HRM batch 25 and is currently working as Vice President HR at Vodafone Idea Limited and heading the HR function for the states of Karnataka, AP and Telangana. He has a rich experience of over 20 years in industries like telecom, pharmaceuticals, petroleum, retail. He is passionate about human resource development and worked extensively in the area of HR business, partnering OD, L&D, talent management, employee engagement, sales and distribution. He has worked across various geographies and have led large size teams and managed large scale organizations. Have successfully led change and transformation in the organizations wherein he was already engaged. I welcome Shumanto to this session and thank you for rendering your valuable time. I know you are extremely busy. And thank you for sharing your good time for the aspirants who are wanting to join in the forthcoming batch of PGC HRM. Over to you, Shumanto.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Pulak. Thanks a lot, Professor Sangam, for inviting me in this forum so that I can share my experience about my PGC HRM. And as Pulak was pointing out, I was a part of batch 25. So it was a fantastic experience. I have to tell like that. It was a fantastic experience for me being a part of the PGC HRM program. The course actually gave me fresh perspective. It has helped me to a great extent to look at things with a fresh set of lenses, if I have to term like that. The course definitely helps one to keep oneself updated with the latest trends of HR and in the business space where you're working. And that was one of the objectives with which I have joined the session. And I can say that the outcome of the intent was more than 100%, if I have to term like that. It has helped me immensely to change my approach, the kind of work that I've been doing. And as Pulak was saying that I am having an experience of 20 years. Out of this 20 years, I had a business experience of about 5 years and 15 years pertaining to HR domain. And I have extensively worked in various domains of HR, be it L&D, be it talent, be it the HR generalist role and stuff like that. But this course, the kind of academia the course gives you, it actually sets you up in a pattern that you will be automatically be driven under into a self-governance mode. And as Professor Sangam was saying, there is a lot of rigor there in the course. It also helps you to set your pace, and it also offers you flexibility, because as you know, we can do this course across various cities in the country. So that also offers you that kind of flexibility, which is important for working professional like us. So that's also an added advantage that comes to the table. And of course, it sharpens you as a professional. It has sharpened me as a professional. It has helped me to kind of steer my career path. It has helped me to get into the next level role that I wanted to. And those 1 year was absolutely brilliant. And one more thing, I have come into contact with one of the best, if I have to say, the best of the faculties. They are experts in their own field, and the way they will take care of the students, they take utmost care to see that the students are in the right path. You have got assessment, periodic assessment, you've got periodic tests, which will also tell you that you are going the right direction. So overall, if I have to tell that this has definitely given me the right input in my career, and I would definitely recommend as an alumni of XLRI, as Professor Sangam was saying, that brand of XLRI always helps you, right? Inside your organization, outside your organization as well. So apart from that brand that you carry with you, the pride that you carry with you as an XLRIan, that helps you a lot. That always gives you that motivation boost, and you also grow your network in your HRD team members, right? You that is also one of the objectives with you getting to the campus, thing that your network grows. You come in touch with different peers, peer people, friends working in different organization and industry. So these are the added advantages. And of course, last but not least, it will give you that icing on the cake that you go back to your campus days. Yeah, because most of us has passed our campus about, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, long back. So those time where you go back to the campus and you have a comprehensive 7 to 10 days of campus program. Uh, so sleepless nights, you're preparing for your project, you're preparing for your academic, you're preparing for assessment. So that's nice note the cake. Um, and I think that's pretty much from my end as far as this course is concerned. And yes, that euphoric feeling when you go for your final graduation ceremony and you get those certificates, and if you are the top performer, you get those medals as well. So that euphoric feeling is something which you cannot explain. So that is in totality I would like to explain, and I would like to share my experience for the journey that started for me. And it's not the end. The journey has only started, and I would definitely recommend this course for each one of us to take a stride ahead in that. So that's from my end, Pulak, for the time being, and I would be happy to address any question and queries when that's given.
Thank you so much, Sumanto. I request you to hold on. Since all the aspirants would have a few of the other questions which you can also appropriately answer. We would now open it up for Q&A. You can. I would request. You can. We will go one by one. You can open up your. Unmute your audio, and speak if you have a question. We are already seeing some queries being posted, which I think Professor Sangam will take up. But Professor Sangam, we will go with the queries posted first, or how do we go?
Yeah, let us go with the queries posted.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Because some people have been quite eager and they've been asking questions a lot. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a 1-year program, a 12-month program, right? And over this 12, so we'll be delivering those 23 live courses of total 300-hour duration over this period of 12 months. During this period of 12 months, there will be a campus component, a campus visit, okay, or a campus component for 5 days, right? Now, the campus component is important because it helps you network among yourselves. It helps you get to know each other better rather than just being a face on a screen or just a name on a screen, right? So that's where you actually start, getting to meet people in person. So you might at best meet people who are, from your town or your city, wherever you are residing, right? So in campus, essentially, you'll be around here for 5 days. So when you're in campus, there will be a mix of classes, some group activities, some examinations, everything, right? So there'll be total of 300 hours of online sessions, and the sessions there'll be 4 sessions each week, right? Okay. So the exact schedule of the sessions will be informed by Pulak and his team, right? Okay. So I believe the sessions are on Fridays and Sundays, right, Mr. Pulak?
Yes. Fridays 6:30 to 9:30, and Sunday 3 to 6 p.m. So as we finish this webinar, you all will be receiving the a mailer from our side, which will contain the brochure. So all information will be handy by the late evening once you receive the communication from our side. So not to worry. Right now we will take up your questions, whatever is coming up.
Sonam, as regards the project, as I said, we follow a cumulative grade percent, method. So essentially a weighted average. So you need to score around 5.74 weighted average grade point on out of a scale of 8. So usually that's around 15 to 20% of the batch, right? If you look at the past trends who are eligible. Dave, regarding your question whether it will give you mileage for career growth, I believe Sumanto has already answered that, right? So if you have anything else about that, you can. Vaishali, about the evaluation methodology. The evaluation methodology is different for each course and it's completely at the discretion of the faculty, right? Now, yeah, one other thing. Okay, if you enroll in the program, right? If you're selected and you enroll in the program, you have to keep one thing in mind. We have a minimum attendance requirement. So you have to attend at least 80% of the live classes for each course. You fail to do that, we start penalizing you in terms of attendance. But in case you're not able to attend, we do make recordings available for a period of 3 weeks after the session, right? Okay, so we do provide you the recording. As regards the fee structure, I think it's best to talk to Pulak and his team because they will be able to share not just the fee details, but even the financing details that they have, right? Yeah. Next question. Evaluation parameters are completely decided by the faculty, right? Okay. Yes, there are some assignments faculty may require you to do it in your organizations, right? Yes, Akansha, this program is targeted at HR professionals. So in fact, most of us students are, working HR professionals, right, who have, or they are someone who has already, someone who is moved to the HR function. But essentially, if you look at it, all our students are in the PCHM program are HR are HR professionals. Yes, Vaishali, if the faculty requires, they will finds that it's necessary. They do invite people from reputed HR practitioners from industry to also deliver sessions. Right. Yeah. Uh, Akanksha, I believe your question you've changed it to somebody from a non-HR, right? So we've also had people who were from a non-HR background who shifted to HR and who decided to take up, you know, mm, what do you call this program so that it can help them manage their new responsibilities better, right? Okay. So yes, the course is useful if you are from a whether you're from in HR or whether you're from a non-HR, as long as you're planning especially if you're planning a move or a career in the HR function, right? If you're not planning a career in the HR function, then I don't think this course would be of much help for you. Then it's better you go for a general management program, right? Like the PGCBM and something. Okay. This is a program for working professionals, so we do not provide any kind of placement assistance or placement services. Okay, right. So that's about that, right? As regards the study material, we typically start procuring the study material once the registration cycle for the program is over. So occasionally there might be, so we generally try to dispatch the books for 3 or 4 courses at a time before the start of the courses, right? Yeah, as regards registration and all those operational formalities, Pulak and his team will take you through that. Uh, Current PGC HRM is not an MBA program, and to be honest, I am not where still in my career of 10 plus years in academics. I've still not understood what is this executive MBA that many institutes offer, right? So I would rather say that first, this is not an MBA program. Second, I what is called an executive MBA program by different institutes is very different, right? So let's not get into that, right? Uh, Aditi, this is an interesting course, right? Interesting question of yours. So yes, you have different years of experience, right? You will have. So if you look at it, the students have come from such a diverse background. Invariably, someone will have a better exposure and expertise in one particular domain than the other. So when the courses come from that domain, they might find it is better. They might find themselves performing much better, and so on and so forth, right? So yes, if you do have a prior exposure in a particular domain, it might help you, right? In some cases, it might also what you call hold you back because typically when you have long prior experience in a particular domain, then you tend to be less open and flexible to new ideas, right? So therefore, having different experience, having, you know, can cut both ways. It can be a plus, it can be a minus, right? So ultimately, it all even averages out. Okay. Aditya, no, the program is not AICT recognized. XLRI doesn't come under UGC, right? So, yeah. See, workflow, process flow are the micro level, right? So we'll not just be getting to the micro level, we'll also be talking about the concepts, the tools that will help you manage both the micro and the macro parts of the HR function, right? So it's not just the micro part. Okay. Biplab, okay, you are working in HR domain, right? See, if you're looking at if the way you see your career panning out is as becoming a specialist in the HR domain in IT services and IT transformation, then I would suggest that you should take up this program, because invariably when you're advising clients on HR related digital transformation projects, you need to be able to speak the language, right? So in that sense, having this program will be of much help to you, right? Okay. Deepika, we have quite a few students who have enrolled into the program after doing an MBA in HR or a master's in HR. Okay, so that's around 10 to 15% of the batch or even more, right? So I think there's it still helps you, because especially quite a few of you might have done your masters a long time ago, and the field of HR has changed quite a bit since then, right? Mm. See, Rita, if you talk about people who are going to retire within 5 to 7 years, right? The question is, what are your post-retirement plans? Do you plan to become an independent consultant in the field of HR? Do you plan to continue, right? Or is it a full retirement? If it's a full retirement, obviously, the program may not help you beyond 5, 7 years, but in the next 5 to 7 years, it will continue to help you, right, in your workplace. But if you have plans of continuing on after your formal retirement from your organization, right? Either as a mentor, as a entrepreneur, or as an independent consultant, then this program will definitely help you, right? Okay, Tanishta, we do not have, there will be no when you talk about offline classes, the offline classes are essentially those which are held in the campus during the campus component. Now, before I'd like to make this quite clear. Every year, when we launch the program, we announce the campus component dates upfront. But as you're all aware, right, since the last 1 year, we are living in extremely uncertain times because of COVID. And again, with the second wave starting, right, state governments are reluctant to give permissions to bring back to bring students to campus, right, especially students of virtual and part-time programs. So therefore, we are not yet in a position to commit a date on which we will hold our campus component, right? Okay, so that is the issue at this point of time. Because of the regulatory constraints, we are not in a position to freeze a date for the campus component. It all depends on how the COVID situation will evolve, right? So as HR managers, you would also have your guesstimates on when you are likely to when you are expecting the COVID situation to get normal, right? So if we get all the permissions and if it is safe for you to come to campus, we'll definitely be fixing the campus component date, right? But there will be a campus visit for your batch as well, right? For the HRM 31 batch as well. Okay. Tanvinder, if you're not working now, yes, you can apply as long as you meet the overall eligibility criteria. But you might be at a slight disadvantage in courses where the faculty asks you to do a project on your organization, right? So in such cases, you will have to speak to the faculty and probably work out some alternative for yourself, right? Dave, you cannot collect study materials from the campus. There, we dispatch it to everyone, right? Yeah. Uh, there was one question about whether you can, yeah. The session timings are Friday and Sunday, right? Now, if you look at these are both these days, they are separate sessions. So it's not a repeat of the same session, right? So you will have some sessions on Friday for a course. You'll have different sessions on Sunday for either the same course or a different course, right? It's not like you can attend only Friday or only Sunday. You have to attend both, right? Okay. Hmm. Typically, we stick to only Fridays and Sundays, right? But in some emergency cases or sometimes, students ask for extra sessions by faculty. So in that case, we generally keep the sessions, those extra sessions on the weekdays, right? But invariably, almost all the sessions will be held on Fridays and Sundays. Okay. Yeah, Lokesh, what's your, you have 4 years experience in recruitment, right? So if you're looking at a career in HR, career path in the HR domain, right? Whether in an organization, whether as an independent consultant or whatever, this program is suitable for you, right? Dave, if you're not able to score 5.74, you will continue the program. You will not be eligible for the final dissertation. That's about it, right? So you have to score a CQPI or a weighted average grade point of 5.74 in the first term to be eligible, right? Even when you are eligible, you still have the option to do the dissertation, right? So it's not like it's compulsory. Uh, yeah, Neha, I think I'd probably leave it to Sumanto to answer your question, right? Okay. Campus sessions are mandatory, right? There are no plans to change the session dates. There will be Fridays and Sundays, right? Okay. Mm. Amarnath, no, we haven't completed the campus visit for the batch which is going on because of the COVID situation. Right. Mm, okay.
So for the just to add to Professor Sangam that in such a scenario, if the campus is not organized because of the COVID situation, then what XLRI takes the responsibility is that the entire sessions which were supposed to be on campus is delivered on the digital platform. So there is no loss of learning in terms of your overall whatever you are set for. That is not going to compromise on anything. But yes, the institute and the student always want that bonding to happen at the campus, and if things go well, then the campus would definitely happen.
See, as regards the campus, right? First thing is the program content, right? We are committed, we will be delivering the 300 hours of sessions, right? If we are allowed by the state government to conduct the campus component, then some of the sessions from those 300 hours will be done in the campus, the rest will be done online, right? In the unfortunate event that we don't get the permissions during the duration of the program, right? We still will be arranging a campus visit for every batch when the COVID situation normalizes and when the governments give the permission. So there will be some kind of a campus visit, right? Yeah. Benefits of alumni tag. Yeah, we do have a separate alumni portal where you get access to, discussions with the alumni, access to job postings, and the alumni committee is also working on a few new initiatives for the alumni. So I think all of those should happen, mm, very soon. Campus sessions, as I said, you will get the campus component. There will be classes of the courses. There will be some group activities, right? Okay. There would be some examinations. That's essentially what we will be doing, right? Yeah. Mm. Okay, Harish. First thing I'd like to stress that obviously this is first a virtual program. Second, it's a part-time program. Third, it's a one-year program. So if you look at it, the content that we deliver is obviously much lesser than what we deliver in a 2-year full-time residential program, right? No institute can claim to, cover the content of that duration within 1 year. It's humanly impossible, right? So yes, that's the limitation. But having said this, the content that the faculty deliver in these 300 hours in the PCHRM program is curated for the needs of working professionals. And while delivering these 300 hours of content, we will show you no mercy in applying the rigor that we apply to the full-time students, right? So in that sense, the content is more, for working professionals. Is a design keeping the needs of working HR professionals in mind, and the rigor is not sacrificed. Okay. So I guess.
Yeah, I think Professor Sangam has been kind enough to answer most of the questions. If there are many questions posted here. For those which are unanswered, we will definitely take up. After the webinar, our people will reach out to you and respond to it appropriately. But if anybody wants to speak up, unmute and speak and have their queries which are beyond which Professor Sangam has already answered, we would not want to answer the questions repeatedly. If you have any specific question directed to the alumni or regarding the format of the program, you can open up your microphone and speak one by one. Meanwhile, just before you start, let me also give you a perspective of the program. So this is a 12 months program, as Professor Sangam said. This is the 31st batch. The regular classes are going to be, on Friday 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the evening, and Sunday 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is the fixed format and slot until or unless directed by the institution. So these are the class schedule dates which needs to be fixed, is generally fixed. The course fee for the program is 3 lakhs. Okay, you have to apply online on a specific portal. Initially, you have to make a payment of 2,500 plus GST, subsequently 7,500 plus GST, and remaining has to be paid over 5 installments, right? After you have applied online, you will be formally, declared as selected, post evaluation by the institution, and you'll receive a letter of selection, basis which you have to make the initial payment, or which is termed as the second installment after paying 10,000, which is 50,000 rupees, the second installment, and the third installment comes to about 70,000, and rest all 3 installments will come at about 57,500, right? So these are given in a breakup of interim intervals, so that you don't get the pressure of payment, and you can easily make the payment during this entire tenure of time. We are also providing, in case you need a loan, we can share you some contact details, although we are not directly related to the loan facility, but we can share you the details of the institutions who are providing loans. One of the associates which is providing loan is SDFC Credila. So you definitely can reach out to our associates, and they will help you out with the loan process. And after you have made the so this is the basic format of the program. The brochure will be sent over mail to you. Please go through the brochure. It contains all micro details of the program, and then of course you can come back to us with any of your queries that you have. Now we will open up for any queries on direct mode. If you have any questions directed to any one of us, including the alumni, you can unmute and speak.
Hi, Farhan here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Farhan, go ahead.
Go ahead, Farhan.
Yeah. So I have already applied and submitted my second installment for the fees for batch 31. So I am awaiting for the study material. I just want to know this, how we gonna receive the study material. Second, I also want to know about the portal we talk about for the alumni.
Let me take this question, Farhan.
Yeah.
You said during the webinar, right? Once the registration closes, then that's the time when we are in a position to finalize how many books we can order, right?
Sure.
Once the registration closes, then we place the order and we
Sure.
dispatch books to your address.
Sure.
We typically dispatch the books for 3 to 4 courses at one go.
Sure.
So that's about the books, right? So the admission process is still on, right? So the registration process. So
Sure.
once we start that planning. Second, alumni portal, you get access only after you graduate from the program, right? So you successfully complete the program, you're awarded the certificate in the graduation ceremony.
Sure.
After that, you get access to the alumni portal.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, sir. This is Lokesh.
Lokesh.
Sir, actually, I have experience in recruitment, US and domestic. I did work in a staffing company. I do have 4 years experience, and right now I am working as a freelancer. So I have already enrolled on this program. I have submitted second installment. So
Yes, Lokesh. I think we lost.
Yeah, I think his connection is lost.
If you can ask the question on chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akanksha, we are not going to. You don't have to update your AIS and professional certificate on. You don't have to use the AIS to update, right? There is a registration portal which is called no paper forms, and on that you have to update everything, right? So if you have any problem in updating, just get in touch with the batch coordinator who's assigned from XLRI's end, and they will help you out. Okay.
There are questions for the alumni. Please feel free to address them also. I mean, there were a few in the chat.
Yeah, I think there was some about how it would help them in their careers. Especially,
Hello.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hi, sir. I wanted to know, my name is Rahul. I wanted to know, will Zoom be the only platform where we can have our online classes?
So just to answer this question, the decision of the technology will be taken by XLRI. Whichever platform XLRI chooses, it could be any platform. It could be Zoom, it could be BlueJeans, it could be any other Microsoft or whatever. So that will be decided by the institution, and that will be provided to the students for access.
Okay, so just to add on to what Pulak has said, right? So we generally would prefer using either BlueJeans or Zoom for conducting the sessions, right? So occasionally we have found that in some organizations, uh, employees are not allowed to access Zoom on their laptop and so on. So we've had quite a few cases. So depending on whether we have too many requests, about how many requests we receive about Zoom not being accessible, we will take that final call. But Zoom and BlueJeans are equally preferable to us. Okay.
Hello, sir. My name is Sukanya. I have a question for you. So I just wanted to know, is faculty member for the full-time degree same as the VIL course?
Yeah, so faculty for the VIL programs are generally the same as those in the full-time courses. Occasionally, one or two courses we may have for one or two courses, or maybe a limited number of courses we may have visiting faculty taking, but generally for the PGCHRM program, most of the sessions are taken by in-house faculty or full-time faculty.
Okay, thank you, sir.
In visiting faculty, they'll be the same visiting faculty who teach our full-time program.
Dr. Sangam, good afternoon. This is Amit here. I have a question, and this is pertaining to the schedule, which is on Friday and Sunday. So I understand that the program is in order to cater to the academic enhancement of students who are working. So is it possible for us to have the program on a Saturday and a Sunday rather than on a Friday evening? Because all working professionals may not get time to attend the classes on a Friday evening, and 6:30 is fairly early on a Friday evening, right?
See, we have fixed up this schedule of Friday and Sunday, looking at all the other commitments, right? So it will not be possible for us to change. And we have been conducting this program on Fridays and Sundays for quite some time now. So that will not be possible for us to change.
Professor Sangam, there is a question from Sandhya. She's asking that why is it that the project is given to people who only have a particular scope? I think she sent it on a chat to me.
Yeah, I think that question was asked by her also. That's because the project already requires you to put in a lot more effort, right? So typically those who we also for qualifying for the final certificate, right? To be eligible for the final certification, there is a minimum academic performance that's required. So if somebody is facing problems with academic performance in the first semester, then a significant chunk of their time in the rest of the program will go in trying to, make up for the lost academic performance. So therefore, what we do is we generally keep it open only for those who have very good academic performance, so that they can, because they have proved themselves to be able to take the load of the additional or extra work. That's the basic idea here, right?
Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Madhu Barkha from Mumbai. I have a question about examination pattern. Can you please elaborate about the exams that will be conducted and how it will be? I mean, that will be subjective, objective, or as
No, I think you're running a bit
I'm sorry.
the cart before the horse. First thing in any course, right, especially as HR professionals, you should probably be aware that the final assessment is completely the discretion of the faculty. The faculty has the choice to decide what will be the pattern of the exam, and the faculty will inform the students in the class, right? But if you ask, nobody can commit to any examination pattern of any kind upfront, right, at the start of a program. Because different faculty, different courses, right, different pedagogies. So obviously the evaluation methodologies will be different. So I would not like to comment on that. And the faculty will inform the students when the courses are on. Okay.
Professor Sangam, good evening. This is Victor here. I have already registered for the course. I think the only query that I have is, do we have any tentative date that we intend to start the next batch from?
Yeah, I think the dates are already announced, right?
I haven't got an intimation, so I was checking.
Pulak, no intimation.
Yeah. So Victor, the brochure itself contains the date. So mid of May is the start date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
You.
The exact date and the schedule for the courses will be sent. We typically announce the schedule for 1 or 2 months only, right, at a time. We don't announce the full schedule upfront. So generally give the schedule for 1 or 2 months at a time. Okay. Right.
So our start date, as per plan, is second week of May.
Yeah.
So you will be receiving the intimation ahead of time, because our registration, our final phase registrations are going on already. And just for the information of everyone, is that we have already issued over, almost over 150 odd offer letters in the first 2 tranches, and already about 120 people have joined the program, onboarded the program. So we just have only a few seats left, and we will be closing. Our formal closure date is the end of this month. But in case our quota is full, we would be closing it much earlier as well. Right. So if any of you are really keen to participate into this particular batch, then you have to rush in and apply as fast as possible.
Hi, I'm Tanishta. I have a question for the alumni, if any of them could answer here for me. So considering I'm working with one of the companies where you must be understanding during the pandemic, the work from home has become something where we're actually living at work and we're not exactly working the normal hours, right? So I would just like to understand that considering the program is very challenging, how did the alumni face these challenges and how did they go around it? Because if it's that challenging, do you think in the current scenario, we will be able to meet those challenges or not?
Anyone to take?
Yeah, I take that question. Yeah, so it's a very, very relevant question. And yes, when somebody was putting this question in the chat box, I was trying to connect. I'm trying to go back to my days of PTC HRM 25. And yes, time will be a challenge. Time will be a challenge for sure. And you guys need to invest at least 10 to 12 hours of time per week, leaving aside the class duration that you have. That challenge was there. That challenge will still be there. And I can relate to your question. Everybody of us are working from home. And when you work from home, there is very thin line of difference between work and home, right? You never know when the work is ending and when the home is starting. But yes, you have to kind of, and that's also brings us me to that question when think how does it help in your career? The XLRI will give you all kinds of arms and ammunition that they have, and they will be giving the best of the study material. The faculties will be actively supporting you in this particular journey. But it is on to the incumbent how much you are leveraging out from all those ends. Because as we all know, and in this forum also we can see, and Professor Sangam was also pointing out, each one of us are at a different stage in our career. Okay, somebody is having a 4 years experience, somebody is having 10 years of experience, somebody having 15 years of experience, and everybody has got a different goal in their life. What do you want to do in the next 2 to 3 years? What is your short-term goal? What is your long-term goal? So the way it depends on you how you want to leverage the learning, the course curriculum. How are you going to leverage the parties support of the faculty? How are you going to leverage the networking that you would be getting to? It all depends on the party. But one thing is sure, and I myself have experienced that this is certainly going to help in the career planning and the way you would be looking back at your career if you can leverage this particular technique. Having said that, yes, you will be having some sleepless nights when you have to kind of complete your course, you have to complete your assessment. So that balance everybody had to do. And once you get into this career, this course, you will be automatically tuned. That much I can say, because I have seen my peers always sailing in the same boat. You will be finishing off this project last minute, so it will be automatically happen. So don't worry, I can assure that being an alumni who has experienced the journey, don't worry. Once you get onto this boat, the boat will sail.
Okay, just to share the experience of some of our students, right, who enrolled last year. Okay. So there was a time when many of them were thinking whether, they should take a break from the program and come back and join later, right? And some of the guys, and most of the guys who are the students who stayed back, right? They say they have come back to us saying only one thing. It was, in hindsight, it was a good decision that we continued, right? And we didn't take a break and transfer to the next batch. So those guys will be joining with your batch, right? So they found because the pressures in the organizations were quite high. So, but let's face it, in life, you will never know what kind of challenges you will have to face. And at time and again, you have to know your limits, right? So you have to know till where you can stretch yourself, right? So because when you're working in organizations, just because something is extremely demanding, work doesn't stop, right? Life has to go on. So that's about it. So think of it as a challenge about how you can stretch yourself, right? Because let's face it, once you get through get through challenging times like this, right? The COVID pandemic, the way you guys as HR professionals are managing it, this experience will stay with you for your life. Right?
Hi Palak, Karan this side. I have a question for you. So while filling the form, I've selected a direct to classroom thing. So situations might happen that you're not, some days you're not able to go at the center. So do you have that flexibility to take from direct to desktop as well, or is it once it's locked direct to classroom, it's locked? So how does that work?
So, as we start the program, the institute is going to evaluate the conditions prevailing, and the classroom format will be only rendered when the COVID situation and the overall situation improvises, and that format will be only provided. But initially, as we start, what we foresee that during May, while we start, it will be on the D2D device only, direct to device, which means the laptop.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Vijay this side from Chennai. So
Yes.
my question is around the student to faculty ratio. So what is that we are planning to have? So what is whether it will be a single faculty handling the entire batch, or how does it go?
Okay, Vijay, Think about it. One person teaching you 300 hours. I think either at the end of 300 hours, you will kill the person or the person will kill all of you. So obviously, and you can't expect one person to be an expert in all these various domains. So there are different factors, right? You can't be an expert in everything under the sun.
I'm trying to understand even from a single class, actually. So whether there will be subsections or sub batches within a single class, say handling
No,
200
the
people output.
entire batch will be handled as one section.
Oh,
right? Okay. So if it exceeds our internal ceiling, then we might think of a second batch, second section.
thank you.
As of now, we will probably close the admissions when we hit the ceiling for the first section.
Sirish, you have some question?
So I was just asking about, see, I've already enrolled for the program. I have two questions. Question number one, which I tried to just reach out to you. When the alumni access is given to the students post-graduation, is it pertaining to only the PGCHRM alumni portal, or it is an overall alumni portal where the full-time MBA graduates have also been done? That is number one. Number two, I've been a part of the corporate strategy team working with the chairman of the organization for the past 10, 12 years. And I'm basically an engineering graduate. I just wanted to make a transition. So what would the stalwarts of this forum recommend? Would you recommend to make a transition during the start of the course, or during the end of the course, or during the transition, or in the mid of the course? So I just wanted to know about the transition recommendation that you have to me. I head the strategy group in the largest steel company of the country. So I just wanted these two questions to be clarified, please.
So Suresh, the first question I can answer. Okay. Second question, probably our alumni will be in a better position to answer. Okay. As regards the alumni portal, when you are an alumni of XLRI, you are an alumnus of XLRI. There is no separate PGCHRM, PGCBM, full-time alumni. It's one single XLRI alumnus. Okay. So it's one single alumni network which has the full-time students and the VIL students. Okay. The second question, I'm not qualified to answer. Right. So maybe the alumni can help you out with it.
No, I think Professor Sangam is highly qualified to answer this, but he wants the answers from the, from the horse's mouth. Sumanto, you will take up or follow?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Sumanto.
So anyone, the follow-up can take that. Can we hear the question one again?
Yeah.
Question.
Sumanto, the question from Sirish was that he has a plan of transition into HR, and whether this transition should happen during the start of the program, in the interim, or in the end of the program, during the end of the program. He's working in a steel organization. It's one of the largest steel companies in India.
Yeah, I've put in close to about 13 years of experience working with the chairman heading the strategy group.
So if I can take that question, Pulak, thanks Girish for asking this. And to answer, there is no direct answer to this question, Chief. It depends on when do you think you are prepared? Because now, after having spent 13 good years in a particular strategy, I'm sure you have got an overall perspective of the organization that you are working in. But obviously, HR is a specific function, and there are some nuances, there are some basic skill sets that you would want to have before you get into the HR vertical. And obviously, you would not like to start from the scratch because you have a backing of 13 years of experience. You must have some parallel roles in your mind while you are taking this shift from the strategy vertical to the HR vertical. So the answer lies with you. You think that, okay, this is the role that I am eyeing into. This is something that I wanted to get, and I am ready. I have got those capabilities. My capabilities are built, my skill sets are built, and I have also got a conducive environment in my organization where I will be getting the support in my earlier days. Because if this change can happen within the organization, change can happen outside yours. And I can give you my example, Shirish. I come from business background. I've started my career in hardcore sales and distribution. And then I made a trip to L&D, from L&D to HR ops, from to HR journalist, and then into HR leadership role. It all depends how much stake is attached, how much, what is the kind of risk that you can take at this point in time of career, and what is the capability that you have built in yourself so that you can go and manage this transformation well for you. And of course, there will be people who will be supporting. So there is no direct answer to this. So if I have given you some perspective, I think you can think through and take it.
Yeah, I think that was a good perspective, Shumanto. Thanks for your inputs.
Adding to what Sumanto has said, right? If you are very clear that you will be moving to an HR role, right? You are mentally prepared for it. Okay. Then my advice from an academic point of view would be to probably start the shift. Okay. To shift at the start of the program. Reason being that HR is a specialized subject, domain with its own, concepts, terminologies, right, and practices. So if you have not got any kind of exposure to the HR function, then probably you will have an issue in relating what is being taught with what is done in practice, right? But if you already have had some exposure to HR practices, then it makes sense for you to join or to shift to HR at the end of the program. So it all depends on, in a limited sense of my understanding, is about whether you have a prior HR exposure or not, right? So that would be my take on this.
Right. So I think we will take another one or two questions because Professor Sangam also has to leave. The rest of the queries which will remain unanswered, we will definitely take it up separately. Velu, you can ask a question. You can go ahead and ask a question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This is Velu from Chennai. I'm working as a L&D and OD intervention head in Lucas TVS. Actually, my question is for the communication purpose. We will create a new WhatsApp group within the batch 31, so that whenever there is a course material or internal discussion, so that we will chat with within the batchmates, so we can understand in detail what's happening. Also, we will catch up there is any session is missed out. Also, it will easy to hold the process. That's the question. Thank you.
There's a question from Swarnendu, which is addressed towards the alumni. He's saying he's joining a new organization. So he's also in the dilemma whether he should continue and do the program now or later. Swarnendu, I think the alumni would be in a good position to advise you, but you could come on and ask the question yourself also. Suman, to follow up, would you like to kind of address Swarnendu's query that he's joining a new organization, whether he should wait or he should continue and go ahead and complete the program or start the program?
Okay.
Look, you were able to hear me, right?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Yeah, possibly
okay.
some, they're not able to get us through.
I think, let me just chip in here then. Yeah, a lot depends on the extent of support your new organization is willing to give you. Right? Many organizations do support the endeavors of their employees for further education. So it would be better if you have a open discussion with your new employer as to your plans on doing this program and to understand what kind of support you will get from their end, right? That's the first thing. That's on the more practical side, right? The second thing, again, right, when you join a new organization, initially it takes you a few months to understand the working of the organization, the internal dynamics, and so on and so forth. So that's something which, so the first 2 or 3 months will be challenging, right? So as I said, life is not without challenges. If you think that you're up for this kind of a challenge, right, then you can join, or you can play it safe and, look for a subsequent batch after you settle down in your organization.
Right.
Uh,
Orpit,
Sorry, I got locked out.
okay.
I just got locked out when the question was being asked, and I came in when Professor Sangam was answering this question. I think aptly, and I fully support what Professor is saying, because this depends on the culture of the organization. If the organization is supportive, because in the initial 2-3 months you have your own onboarding and you have your own induction plan, right? So you are getting into a new role, so obviously the stakes are high. Yes, the organization is supportive and they understand that it's for a capability building initiative that you got into, so you can definitely.
So
Thank you, Dr. Santosh and Sumantar for answering my query. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to add here, I mean, I think we all are from the HR domain, and whenever we seek permission in terms of learning, L&D and anything, we approach the HR only. So you are the department itself, number one. Number two, if I have to say, speak about Sumanto, while Sumanto joined the program, Sumanto, you were a AGM then at Vodafone? If I recall right, while you had joined, the program, you were AGM.
Yes,
and now,
yes,
yes.
I was.
And now you have progressed on to be vice president at HR. So I think had the organization not supported you wholeheartedly, you wouldn't have really gone
Of
that
course,
way.
of course, and that is where I was coming into. That
Yes.
you need to have because so it also depends on your tenure in the organization, because by that time you also know your stakeholders, you know how to manage your roles and jobs. So for a new incumbent, it might be a challenge, but for the beginning, because the person needs to manage both, right? First of all, the induction into the new organization and also induction into the new course. So as the challenge will be there, if person can tackle both the challenges, and sure.
That's right. I think Orpita was saying that her question was not answered. Orpita, can you come over on the or directly on voice, please?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Orpita.
Sir, hi, sir. Actually, I have already completed my MBA in marketing major and human resource minor. And after that, I have 1 year of experience with DH, 1 year, 3 months of experience in DHL logistics. And in future, I'm currently not working anywhere. And in future, I want to move into an HR domain. So will this program be helpful for me for my future prospects?
Arpita, I believe I have already answered this question. Okay, somebody posed a similar question, I have answered, right? Okay. So, but to cut a long story short, yes, the learning from this program will definitely help you in your career, right? And yeah, XLRI brand. Okay. So rather than repeating my entire answer, to cut the long story short.
Okay, so since I don't have any like experience in HR, so like I'm just confused. Like here, everyone is a working professional, and everyone is coming from an HR domain. So being a non-HR domain, can I approach to the companies after completion of this program?
See, again, whether you can approach companies or not, right? Again,
Yes.
depends on the specific policies of individual organizations. Some organizations are open to looking at HR professionals without prior experience. Some organizations require prior experience. So whether you'll be able to approach or not is, something that is beyond, not something which we guys can control, right? Because it depends on practices in organization,
Okay, okay.
right?
But the Orpita, the advantage with you is that you are having only 1.3 years of experience, and
Yes,
you are
yes.
just at your start of your career. So whatever you
Yes.
create now is your investment for your future. So if you want to go HR way, then this is the right time for you to progress ahead. Because
Okay.
if you would have reached 5 years, 6 years of experience and then try to convert your, change your domain from one stream to another, it would have been little bit more difficult for, for recruiters to accept without exposure. But right now you only have just about a 1 year, 1.3 years of experience. So you can definitely take that plunge and move into the HR, and these certification from XLRI will further bolster your confidence and the recruiter's confidence also on you in terms of recruitment, right?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, Pulak, there is
Yes,
Sumanto.
yes.
I'll have to leave right now because I have a class.
No, sure. And Professor Sangam, thank you so much.
Yes.
You have given us almost 1.5 hours today. I know there are a lot of problems going on in the campus owing to the COVID situation, but you still made time for this session, and we are really grateful to you. Thank you for giving this time to our aspirants. And I immensely thank Shumanto and Pallav for being here today, despite their busy schedule. And thank you all for joining in today. We will also share you the details of the our contact numbers, so that you can get back to us. We will definitely come back to you with. Please track your mail. Latest by tomorrow morning, you will be receiving all the information relating to the program, and you'll also receive an alert once you receive that over SMS also as well. In the meantime, Pritish, you can share the contact details for the benefit of our aspirants, so that they can reach us in case they have any further queries.
Okay. Thank you, Pulak. So I
Yes, Professor Sangam, you can log off right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sangam.
Yes, sir. Thank
And
you.
have a safe weekend.
You too, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, maybe a few closing remarks by the alumni.
Yes. Shumanto, some closing remarks. Shumanto, Pallav.
Yeah, I think first of all, thanks for inviting in this platform. It was really nice to be a part of this conversation. And the questions were quite relevant from all the aspirants. As a closing remarks, I would like to wish you all the best and have a successful journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Shumanto. Thank you all, and have a nice weekend. Have a nice Sunday, and request you to, in case any of you who are keen to apply, I would request you to act fast, because as I said already, about 120 people have already committed to the program. Many of them are here today. In fact, as you could see, uh, we don't have a very huge batch for this program. We generally limit it to 150, 160. So please, you have to act fast to grab your seat. the faster you post in your application, it is better, right? So you can reach us at the contact details, which will be shared with you over mail also. And Pritesh has also shared you the details, and wish you best of luck. Thank you for joining in today.